Please.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people, people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first.
Can you imagine doing a crime with this guy, by the way? He's like the favorite criminal of every prosecutor. It's impossible to get your story straight. It's impossible to get your story straight with this guy. He is straight up going to, one, reveal it in a weak moment when he feels like it. And then after Marco Rubio comes out and is supposed to do like the competent response, it's like, oh, well, you see, that's not how it is. He just goes out and he fucks it up again.
And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready. And we've had a very, very powerful impact because virtually everything they have has been knocked out now. Their missile count is going way down. Amazingly, they're hitting countries that were, you know, let's call them neutral, right? They lived together for a long time. I think they were surprised. I was surprised.
They're like, why are they doing that? I don't know. We got our bases there. Maybe that's why. Of course, no one in American news is going to put two and two together there. They're not going to be like, hey, maybe it has something to do with the fact that our bases are there. Like, ask Trump where the American soldiers have died. What country's soil did they die on?
I think and now those countries are all fighting against them and fighting strongly against them. Someday they'll write a story and they'll say why they did that, but they hit countries that had nothing to do with what's going on. They were sort of leaving everything alone. All of a sudden they had missiles shot in, which shows you the level of evil that we're dealing with. They'll hit people that were actually at least somewhat friendly, and they had no problems with it. Also hitting only civilian places, hotels and apartment buildings, and we're hitting them.
Again, an American saying this is so funny. Where did the soldiers die, Trump? Where did the soldiers die? How did they die? Always eating? Yeah, at this time, I'm always eating. Also, to say, to be like, oh yeah, they're only hitting civilian strikes. It's like the civilian targets. Look how evil. You're America, brother. You literally killed 150. You killed 150 little girls, man. Shut the fuck up.
Where it is much more appropriate, we're hitting them very hard. And the big scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection. They no longer have any detection facilities at all left, and so they're gonna be in for a lot of hurt. These are bad people. These are people that killed. I guess it's 35,000. It's coming out 35,000 over the last 3 weeks. Protesters, 35,000 violently killed.
Now he's increasing the number too. He's like, they're very bad. He increases to 35,000. It's like every other week. Next week's gonna be like 50,000. They're saying 50,000.
So these are bad people, and the leader of the pack is gone. And as you know, 49 people were taken out in the first hit, and I guess there was another hit today on the new leadership, and it looks like that was pretty substantial also. So they're getting hit very hard, and we'll see what happens. A lot of people are coming forward. A lot of the people you would least suspect want to quit. They want to have immunity. They're asking for immunity, and probably at some point they'll be dropping, as you would say, laying down their guns. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're just continuing to go forward. Our military is the #1 in the world by far, and we are, everything's big in my book. Venezuela was big, this is big, the original hit, Midnight Hammer, was big, everything you view is big, but it's not considered very big by some standards, by some of our standards. We have a military like no other military that's ever been built.
So we got the President, are you going to take the heat off the Europeans to potentially help you, Mark Rutte?
I'm responding real quickly to, apparently Hasan Piker doesn't like me. So I'll...
That's not true.
Well, then we don't like Hasan Piker.
That's not
Sam
true.
Piker's nephew. You know, his mother, I just looked
Wow.
on YouTube.
Marvel.
Marvel.
Thank you for
oh my
the
God, thank you.
insanely, amazingly
Marvel.
generous
Amazing.
$200 donation. Thank you so much.
It's from 6 months ago. What the fuck? What is this guy saying? We're setting up a we're setting up a limited hangout. John Kiriakou, we're setting up a limited hangout. Don't worry. Former CIA asset, the former CIA asset. You know what I'm saying?
On the allies to also help you.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to ask Mark Rutte. He said not as part of NATO, but to be helpful to you in this. And
Well, some of the European nations have been helpful and some haven't. And I'm, very surprised. Germany has been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Okay, Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation.
They don't even have French fries. How can you have a symbolic victory over Spain like we did over France? For people who are too young to know what I'm talking about, France refused to invade Iraq back in the day with the coalition of the willing. And we were very mad at France. So for a while, in the United States of America, every patriotic small business owner, the real Hitlerite base of support in this country, chose to change the name of French fries to freedom fries. If you want to get a snapshot of like the collective psyche of the Amerifat in the year 2003, this is perhaps one of the best ways to comprehend what was going on. We were so mad that France did not want to go along with our illegal war that we angrily decided here in the United States of America, we will no longer call them French fries, but we will call them freedom fries. That's how fucking stupid of a country we are. So sometimes when I look at how dumb things have gotten, it's an important reminder that no, it was pretty dumb back then too. Okay? It's dumb now, but it certainly was dumb back then as well. It's still dumb.
At my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. And everybody was enthusiastic about it, Germany, everybody. And Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases. And that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it. But we don't have to. But they were
He's like a kid.
Unfriendly. And so I told him, we don't want to. Spain has absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. They have great people. But they don't have great leadership. And as you know, they were the only country that in NATO would not agree to go up to 5%. I don't think they would have agreed to go up to anything. They wanted to keep it at 2%, and they don't pay the 2%. So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain.
Remember the Maine! He's a 19th century imperialist, or at least talks like one and wishes he was one. We could just fly into Spain against the wishes of the sovereign national government. That's literally an illegal invasion and brazen violation of international law. Well, yeah, exactly. Who's going to do anything about it?
Don't want anything to do with Spain.
What is the expectation for what's
And I'm not, by the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. That island that you read about,
Wait, why? Bro, it is hilarious that Keir Starmer is the most cucked man on the planet. And even then, Keir Starmer will literally pick up his papers on the ground. He'll suck him clean. He will polish his shoes with his tongue. Give him a tongue bathing every single fucking time. And Donald Trump still turns around and is like, I hate UK. He's such a bitch. I hate him. What more could he do?
Lease, okay, he made it, for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with. Go ahead, please.
Chancellor Merz, you just heard that the president is thinking about punishing Spain. What are your thoughts spontaneously on this, and what can you do to,
Well, the answer on that is quite simple. We are trying to convince Spain to catch up with the 3% or 3.5%.
God, the fucking European Union is disgusting. Okay? NATO is disgusting. The EU is disgusting. There's like at least one country with a little bit of fucking backbone. And there you have German Chancellor being like, oh, we are trying to convince them, yeah. We would love the austerity, please. You need to do austerity. You need to purchase more weapons, yeah.
Which we agreed on in NATO, and as the president said, it's correct. Spain is the only one who is not willing to accept that, and we are trying to convince them that this is a part of our common security that we all have.
Dude, it's crazy. Like everyone, all my Spanish chatters always make fun of me whenever Pedro does something good, and you guys are like, oh, you got what is it, PSO'd? Like, oh, he just does aesthetically the good thing. You do the aesthetically good thing, but you don't actually follow through on it, whatever. Right? But honestly, in comparison to the average neoliberal vampire, Spain is several cuts above. Like, I know the bar is really fucking low. Not King of Spain. Once again, I had nothing to do with it. But like, compare the Spanish party, Spanish governance, to like Merz. Compare him to Maloney. Compare him to Keir Starmer. Like, he looks like a fucking Stalinist in comparison. It's not even like, it's not that he's very good. Okay? It's not that he's great. But like, in comparison to other European leaders, he just straight up, he's doing Spanish Jusha, like somewhat competent, somewhat standing up against like American, ridiculous American demands.
To comply with this numbers, and this is 3 point.
Don't worry, the Soc Dems are still doing nothing materially, and the far right will win the next elections here. You pronounce it peso-aid, but pesoed sounds so fucking funny. I love it. Yeah, pesoed.
5 for military and another 1.5 for our military interest.
I mean, they're far, far from any Russian threat. Oh, brother. Really? What about the fucking UK then? Like, what are you talking about? I gave you an example. Oh my God. Yeah, that's why they can refuse to align with America and increase their military expenditure by 5% of their GDP, which is going to be crippling the entire economy and destroy the existing social safety nets. Oh, I'm sorry. God damn, dude. What about all the other fucking countries that are further away than Spain? Oh my God. Perma Russian brain rot. Holy fuck. Every time, dude. Meanwhile, who you're doing this for is a country that literally just said, its leader just said, I am going to force my military on your soil, which is invading your country. I'm going to invade your country. If I want to, I can invade your country. Who's a bigger threat now? Friedrich Merz, I will speak to the President Trump on the latest developments in the Middle East in Washington on Tuesday. I am in close contact with partners across Europe, Israel, and the wider region. This is not the moment to lecture our allies, but to stand together in unity. Jason Hickle says one of the two war criminals who triggered these developments with the illegal invasion of Iran is wanted by the ICC, and your government is harboring him in violation of your obligations under international law. Okay. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Benjamin Netanyahu is actually in Berlin. Just as plain. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren attending. Dude, I love when like Middle East Observer and OSIN accounts will use this kind of emoji when talking about like a revelation from Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. Like, use a different emoji or no emoji at all. Like, you're making it seem like you're giving an update. Like, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren has been has destroyed 15 Shahed drones over the Kuwaiti airspace. Like, the situation is much worse than can be imagined. I was worried before, but now I'm more worried. The Trump administration has no plans towards Iran. He's in Berlin. He's in the Adlon Hotel. Dude, he was in Israel the other day. We saw him in Israel like yesterday. Unless he keeps flying back and forth between Israel and Berlin, pretty sure he's in Israel. As much as I love the story of the most cuck country on the planet, Germany, harboring a war criminal in direct violation of its own fucking laws. AI pre-recorded? No, he was outside, bro. He was outside.
Or 3.5%, which we agreed on in NATO. And as the president said, it's correct. Spain is the only.
Germany supports the U.S. embargoing Spain. I didn't even hear that part when he was talking about. I got too caught up with what Trump was saying after that Germany is in support of another European Union country being embargoed by the American government. Break the European Union, break it apart piece by piece. It's over. That's crazy. Spain needs to do a security and economic treaty with China, North Korea, maybe Iran, fuck it, Cuba. You know what I mean? No, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That is fucking insane. Bro, that's your continent. God, I have so much hatred in my heart for the German government. You don't understand how much I fucking despise the German government. It makes me so angry. They are literally the reason why Europe is going to fall to Nazi control. 100%. Our only opportunity here is an ascendant Jean-Luc Mélenchon or like an LFI victory in France that breaks apart this allegiance and creates a separate nuclear security cooperative agreement with like all the other countries that want to be woke. That's your continent? Yeah, that's what they are thinking, just not how you said it. No, Europe doesn't have that kind of ambition, or Germany doesn't have that kind of ambition anymore. They already control the continent through the European Union, which is why this kind of action is fucking completely ridiculous and antithetical to that sort of. It's a betrayal to the economic and security partnerships that he has.
Structure, so Spain has to comply with that.
Spain has been very.
Not to say horseshoe, but you literally sound like any far right wing clown who say the right is rising, but luckily you dumbass Americans voted in Trump in that. Wait, what? But it's true. They are constantly growing in momentum. And a big part of the reason why they're growing is because of fucking shitty liberals like this. I know that they've been able to very successfully explain to people like you, Eurolibs, that they are the only protectors against growing fascism. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. also the left would have lost hardcore in Denmark, and now we're gonna win. We have seen that all over Europe as well. Okay, all right, whatever, dude.
Very uncooperative. And so has UK. Now, the second one is shocking, but this is not the age of Churchill. I will say the UK has been very, very uncooperative with that stupid island that they have.
Do you remember how Donald Trump ran?
Wait, I gotta show you 2 videos of him talking about. Oh, this is the 2 videos that are the best. Look at this. Fuck, why isn't it loading?
Well, most of the
pee.
people we had in mind are dead. So, you know, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody. But we have, I mean, Venezuela was so incredible because we did the attack and we kept government totally intact. And we have
Dude, his heart is not in it.
Delcy, who's been very good.
His heart is not in it. Most of the people we had in mind are dead. I don't know. There might be some other people. One key difference with Venezuela that Trump seems blind to is Israel and the power of the Israel lobby. They've never wanted any sort of deal. They want the U.S. to pursue total regime change. This is something that isn't really possible short of a huge ground invasion. This is true. The other story that's really funny is,
I'll tell you,
where is it? The other very funny story is when he's talking about fucking Reza Pahlavi as well.